coming up with things to talk about, sometimes it can be like kind of difficult. It's like we kind of want to be somewhat structured. We know we're always going to derail, but we need like a starting point. And I think it's finding that starting point that's ends up being the most difficult. So I took liberty to write down some interesting topics that I thought that we could discuss. I bring it, present it to these guys, and I get nothing but made fun of. What's your issue with my list?
You really should take a picture of that and let the audience see what we were laughing at.
Well, no, what?
Because then we don't even need to say anything.
You take umbrage. Why don't you read it? What's your read it?
All they had to, okay, so podcast Sapuakdit. I don't even know what that is. And then the first things, I thought it said trans parties.
It's definitely not trans parties.
So you guys don't.
It's not going to be in focus.
So you get, okay. So.
Well, what's the one with the.
He put.
Game on or Shrek.
That looks like order to me.
Game order Shrek.
Shrek.
Oh, no, game under, not order. Dom, under.
This is the type of thing that if you sat this down and forgot about it a month later, you'd be like, I don't know what I was writing.
Oh, no. For me, like, it clicks immediately.
Really?
Absolutely. Anyway, yeah, it's not trans parties. Not yet, anyway. Give it a year. But, no, transporters. I was, like, watching Stargate one time, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to join the Air Force. Because they got Stargates. This is a true story, by the way.
The fact that you thought the Air Force had Stargate technology doesn't make me think you're an idiot. There's plenty of other things that would go before that. Okay. How about Airwolf, for one?
Airwolf?
Huh?
So yeah, Airwolf was one of my favorite shows as a kid. A-Team, Airwolf, and Knight Rider, I would say would be the top three. Great shows. I guess you could all agree, right?
I could never get into Airwolf.
Really? Flying an attack helicopter?
A-Team was awesome, though.
What did you say? A-Team, Airwolf, and what?
And Knight Rider.
Oh, Knight Rider.
Like, for me, Airwolf and Riptide were, for whatever reason, man, I couldn't get into either one of those.
Airwolf was my favorite. Stringfellow Hawk proved that you could solve any civil problem with an attack helicopter. No matter what. The local sheriff being an a-hole to the residents in a small town was your attack helicopter.
I can see it solving a lot of problems.
Imagine if you go to the store and they don't give you the refund. You show up with an Airwolf?
So it's basically just Dukes of Hazzard, except there's an attack helicopter at the end.
And what's the police going to do about it? Oh, there goes Airwolf. Nothing we can do about it.
So get to the story. Get to the story. Why exactly?
If you're an angry sheriff and you're trying to get excellent, and you're like,
so you're Roscoe.
Yes, you're like, I've got this tail by the balls. Yeah, you're gonna do what I say. The Airwolf shows up. You're like, oh shit. And then, like, there's nothing you can do about it because it's Airwolf.
He just flies away.
You're like, just watching it fly away. So, meanwhile, he launched several Hellfires into your jail cell.
Why would Roscoe even think he had a chance to begin with?
Well, no,
he's the helicopter. At what point does he actually think he has a chance?
As he's driving.
Well, he pulls out his gun, he shoots the Airwolf, he realizes that it's bulletproof, and I'm just sitting there like, and I'm like, see you later. Just fly off. I can fly a helicopter legit, though, for real.
You know what would have been amazing? a Dukes of Hazzard and a Knight Rider kind of
team up
would
and then Airwolf shows up too
at the end, and it says to be continued.
Well, no, Knight Rider and then Dukes of Hazzard, they're standing there. They have just defeated the evil enemy, whatever that is. and then all of a sudden this
Boss hog.
yeah, boss hog shot. And then all of a sudden, like, all these other enemies just start showing up because, well, man, I thought we had this handled. I guess not. And they get reinforcements. They come in. They just when you think they're not going to make it, all of a sudden you hear. Airwolf just sweeps in and goes, to be continued. Dude. Whoever's in charge of those properties, could you please make that happen? Look, everybody's all rehashing these old properties. Make Dukes of Hazzard, Airwolf, Knight Rider team up. That's what we want. Anyway, yeah, my Airwolf story. So we were so obsessed as kids with Airwolf. This was elementary school, maybe 3rd, 4th grade. I drew out a patch. No, I didn't design it. I just copied the emblem of Airwolf, which was just like an Airwolf, a wolf. I guess it has wings because it's an Airwolf. He's like going like that, and copied it out, cut it out, made other ones, and then went to they had this little lamination thing at our school that the teacher could go. I guess they laminated their own like little things. I was like, "Can you laminate this for us?" She was like, "Oh, sure." And so we each got little laminated Airwolf. It was a club. It was an Airwolf club.
How many dorks were in this club?
Just 4. It was my idea, so I was the leader.
You were the head dork.
I don't remember exactly what we did in this club. I think one time we tried to build an actual Airwolf. This dude was I guess it was trash day, and there was I used to always get stuff from the neighbor's trash. That's how I got my A-wing, Y-wing, and I guess there was like some old like radios, electronics. This dude threw out, and they were like, "Whoa, if you need an Airwolf, you need a bunch of electronics. We better take this." And so we took it and started like stacking it up and like putting wires. I'm like, well, I guess an Airwolf would have the wire going here. So we're already starting to make like the cockpit of the Airwolf with used radio parts and other little gizmos and electronics. We tried to make our own. I'm being serious when I say, like, I dreamed of having my own Airwolf as a kid. Like, dude, I would have ruled the neighborhood. I would have ruled the school if I had my own Airwolf.
Well, I mean,
When it was sad, I can't really say anything about you because I did the same thing with electronic parts because I figured they'd be useful, to build my own Transformers base.
Wait, so not a base for your Transformers?
My headquarters. No, for me. Like I tried making the headquarters. Like,
Yeah.
I tried making like the inside of the Ark.
Yeah, but I'm
For me, because
For you.
I was a member of the STARS, Secret Transformer Autobot Rescue Squad. So I needed. Look at the look he just gave me, like. Okay. Yeah. So I tried to make an actual headquarters for me. It was an absolutely miserable fail. I mean, it was pitiful. I got we had a bunch of lumber and stuff out, and there was like a little. My dad had this section of lumber, that he'd used to build stuff, and I went out there and I got a couple pieces, and I probably had like 50 nails, trying to nail 2 sheets of wood together, not knowing what I'm doing, and they all were all bent over and stuff, like constant. And I didn't know what I was doing, and it showed. And
what if the Transformers base actually looked like that? Just all,
yeah, you don't know.
just all shoddy.
They just worked with what they had, and they crash landed here and just worked with what they had.
But
To reiterate, it was not for your toys. It was for you.
not for my toys. This is a tin I've had since I was a kid. It's a little cookie jar, and I would keep important stuff in here, right?
This dude's lame.
Hey, I had stuff like that. I had an important.
I mean, I was in the
bin.
But
cool stuff like Airwolf.
Yeah.
here were some of the electronic parts.
What is that even?
It's a circuit. I don't know. I would just tear apart stuff to get the circuitry out.
I mean, it looks like it does something. I like how you literally ripped the circuit board, so now it's completely useless.
I was trying to. I was trying to. Here's another one right here. This probably came
It's an antenna.
from a walkie-talkie.
That's definitely a walkie-talkie.
So yeah,
It's amazing that any of this stuff worked. It looks so, it looks so dumb.
The 50s?
you know what?
No, the 70s was like that. Everything, it had those little, I don't know what you call those things.
Transistors and resistors.
Maybe I'll still be able to make that work somehow in the future.
You know, I never tried to build my own headquarters or my own Airwolf, but I did just take apart everything. I took apart everything. And usually I would, like if something was broken, I would fix it. So even like as a little kid, I was always taking apart stuff. And I'd come, I mean, you know, my parents would come home, you know, from work or whatever, and they'd see this huge thing laid out. And it's just like all these pieces. And they're like, hey, that's our VCR. Yeah, I mean, I actually did that. I actually took apart a VCR and put it back together. I love doing that.
Oh, it's a good way to learn how things are put together, as long as you put it back together.
Yeah, yeah,
And remember the order of operations.
yeah. So it was, you know, but I never salvaged.
What are you thinking, dude? That's respectable as a kid. What we were doing, this must be good for something, and just ripping apart electronics and like, well, what are we gonna do with that?
Build an Airwolf. I was just thinking about like in the actual Airwolf, you know, he's sitting there and he's like, did he have a co-pilot? Was there?
You guys, Dominic Zantini.
Okay, so he says, hey, hit the whatever, and he goes to hit it, and it's just a tape deck that comes down.
Yeah.
Because that's what you would have, you know, you would have like stolen stuff from.
Yeah, put Hellfire online. It's like he pushes the button and like the cassette comes out.
Hits him in the head.
I remember. That just reminded me of something. We'd get Boy Scouts had a magazine called Boys Life, and in the
I don't remember that.
in the back they'd have the ads for like the X-ray glasses and stuff. Right. One of them was build your own force field, and I was like, I need that for my base.
Well, that's how you guys.
But I never actually sent out for the plans to build.
What if
to build the force field?
What if that was a part of like self-disclosure? That one scientist left Area 51 who knew how to build a force field. And he was like, yeah, I can't actually release this. I'm gonna like anonymously put it in like Boys Live.
And it's probably like, and it was probably like $1.50 or something.
It was a couple of bucks for the plans.
Yeah.
You know, and that was on my to-do list. Once I got the base built, I had to protect it somehow. So I was going to send off for the force field.
So what was your plan? Like the moment Jay and Dodongo want to come mess with your base, they're like,
It was Jay and Timothy who were more the enemies.
and they were just gonna bounce off your force field.
Yeah, Dodongo was in on my side. He was like a Padawan, if you will.
And so,
But Jay and Timothy liked G.I. Joe, so that's why they were the enemies.
so what were you gonna do in this base? Just sit there?
I was gonna have electronic technology, as you could tell from my tin,
Right.
because to basically do I don't know. I didn't think that far. Okay, I didn't think that far. It was cool in my mind, but you know, once I couldn't even get a couple of pieces of wood together and stay together, my plans kind of fell apart.
Every good base is made with 2x4s.
Oh, well, but you know what though? I did send out for plans to make your own hovercraft, and that actually did work. That was one of my science fair projects.
So you didn't make it big enough?
You use it with a vacuum cleaner motor,
Okay.
and it creates a pocket of air underneath the thing, you know, and you kind of float on that. And those were legit because it actually worked because me and my dad built the thing. So
Yeah, but
maybe the force field would have worked.
Okay.
Those idiots would have been throwing rocks at me, and they would have been like, boink, boink, and they would have been like, oh!
And then your mom would have been like, "Melvor, it's time for dinner. Turn off your force field."
But like, you can't give me the force field's on. Would run in there every time I got in trouble. That would have been awesome.
It just reminds me of what Better Off Dead or whatever, where the kid builds a space shuttle at the end. Yeah.
Dude, I was like, that kid knows what's up right there.
Oh, that reminds me of Explorers. Dude, I always wanted to be that kid that's like, man, builders. Maybe that's where I got my idea to build an Airwolf. It's like if these guys can, if they build a freaking.
Well, I mean,
ship,
well, if they're putting plans for a force field in the back of Boy's Life, I'm sure you could probably do some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Build a helicopter? That's much less technologically advanced than a force field.
Exactly. Well, it, like for my thinking, like okay, they built a spaceship in their little shack, or whatever. That goes to space. That's unrealistic. Okay, spaceships don't exist. But so certainly, I can build a helicopter that does exist.
Maybe.
Maybe.
It could still potentially happen for one of us. It'd be me if it was going to happen. Because you...
Oh, please.
Hold on. With today's technology, it would be considerably easier to make a Transformers base versus a helicopter.
And you guys are really in for a surprise when I just show up to record all these podcasts at an Airwolf. Your neighbors are going to be angry. They're going to be like, can you park that Airwolf not in front of my
Yeah, we're all
house?"
like this, you know, as you're coming down, and you're like, ha ha.
I'm just looking through the window like, you didn't see this coming, did you?
Why are we all outside waiting, you know?
I call you beforehand. Hey, look, I'll be here in a minute. Can you help me get the equipment out?
Yeah.
You know, you're all standing around. Like, man, I don't know.
Where is he?
Because that's what, the howl of the Airwolf. And I was like, dude, it's not, if I ever do get an Airwolf,
You have to have speakers on the outside.
on the outside blaring the theme song. All right. So you're gonna hear. And you'll be like, fucking did it. He got himself an Airwolf.
You finally did it.
I mean, if you built yourself your own Airwolf, you could probably just do it where you take over all like the Bluetooth speakers in the world or in that area. And so all the Bluetooth speakers start playing the Airwolf thing.
I'm more of a just kind of like guerrilla style. Just duct tape some speakers.
Okay. That won't affect the aerodynamics or anything
Just
of your helicopter.
just along the wings. Just duct tape some speakers.
You build an Airwolf, but you're too dumb to get any type of permission or make sure that legally you're in the right. No, you get shot out of the air by the military.
So the whole time they're saying unidentified
Military-grade helicopters flying around a major city.
Every time somebody's on the radio saying identify yourself, please, I just turn off the radio.
No, you didn't even put a radio in. All you were worried about was your theme song blasting to people, so you have no idea until the fighter jets come behind and blow you out of the sky.
A group of jets coming in to see my Airwolf because they think it's
They're
badass.
admiring my Airwolf.
Oh man, they're getting closer. They're getting closer.
You hear their transmissions, and they're like, oh look, another idiot built himself an Airwolf. Let's take him out.
And you guys are just like, man, did he have the cameras?
My cheeks. My cheeks hurt.
Guess we're not doing any podcasting things today.
My God, how long have we been talking about Airwolf?